It's like a festival today, huh? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 3, Text 50. Moghani varshat asya krit yamanuja. Moghani varshatya sakrit yamanuja. Gambhira tayogha javormi phenila. Gambhira tayogha javormi phenila. Vayana kavarta shatakula nadi. Vayana kavarta shatakula nadi. Margham dado sindhuriva sriyapate. Margham dado sindhuriva sriyapate. Magho nivarshatya sakrit yamanuja. Gambhira tayogha javormi panila. Vayana kavarta shatakula nadi. Margham dado sindhuriva sriyapate. Magho nivarshati because of Lord Indra's showering rain. Ashakrit, constantly, Yamanuja, the river Yamuna, who is considered the younger sister of Yamaraj. Gambhira Toya Agha, of the very deep water. Java, by the force. Urmi, by the waves. Phenila, full of foam. Vayanaka, fierce. Avarta Sata, by the whirling waves. Akula, agitated. Nadi, the river. Margam, way. Dado, gave. Sindhu, Eva, like the ocean. Sriyapate, unto Lord Ramachandra, the husband of the goddess Sita. Translation. Because of constant rain sent by the demigods Indra, the river Yamuna was filled with deep water, foaming about with fiercely whirling waves. But as the great Indian Ocean had formerly given way to Lord Ramachandra by allowing him to construct a bridge, the river Yamuna gave way to Vasudeva and allowed him to cross. Please repeat. Because of constant rain sent by the demigods Indra, the river Yamuna was filled with deep water, foaming about with fiercely whirling waves. But as the great Indian Ocean had formerly given way to Lord Ramachandra by allowing him to construct a bridge, the river Yamuna gave way to Vasudeva and allowed him to cross. Next verse. I just read the translation. When Vasudeva, that's 51. When Vasudeva reached the house of Nanda Maharaj, he saw that all the cowherd men were fast asleep. Thus he placed his own son on the bed of Yasoda, picked up her daughter, an expansion of Yogamaya, and then returned to his residence, the prison house of Kamsa. Purport. Vasudeva knew very well that as soon as the daughter was in the prison house of Kamsa, Kamsa would immediately kill her. But to protect his own child, he had to kill the child of his friend. Nanda Maharaj was his friend, but out of deep affection and attachment for his own son, he knowingly did this. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that one cannot be blamed for protecting one's own child at the sacrifice of another's. Furthermore, Vasudeva cannot be caused of callousness, since his actions were impelled by the force of Yogamaya. Try to say something about this. So here, this is the description of Krishna's energy. Yamuna River is none other than, an associate of Krishna. Even the rivers, they are not ordinary, especially the river in India. There are 7 holy rivers like the Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri. There are 7 holy rivers in India, not like the Mari River here. These rivers, they all represent personalities, and particularly they appear to assist in the pastimes of Lord Krishna. in this world. This is why Yamuna, Lord Krishna himself sported in the Yamuna. And in the Ganges, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda used to swim in the Ganges. And he said that the Ganges in Mayapur, they are none other than this Yamuna, transformed, because that Vrindavan is none other than Mayapur, also Vrindavan, Gupta Vrindavan, hidden Vrindavan. So these rivers we're talking about here, they are very special, not any ordinary rivers like any other river we find in the Western world. They appear just as the devotees come to assist in the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And many things mentioned here in this short purport, that Vasudeva knew very well that his son, as the daughter, was in the prison house of Kamsa. So actually, Vasudeva took Krishna to Nandagaon, right? And exchanged with the baby girl. And as far as Kamsa, he knew that Krishna was born, the eighth child was the one that going to kill Kamsa. He knew that because that was the prediction by Narada Muni to him. Or he heard the voice that the eighth child will kill him. So, but Yoga Maya mentioned here is there are different energies. Mahamaya, Yoga Maya, and the internal potency of Krishna, Hladin Shakti. The different potencies, the Yoga Maya particularly, is the energy that, like I said, they are assisting Krishna. It's not that Krishna he himself is the source of everything, but he creates different energies for his pastimes. Because everybody needs a service. He engages everyone in his service. Sometimes there's so many people, everybody needs something to do. Maybe you just sit, just tell people this way. There's not much to do, but everyone has a job. Like one of my friends, he works at the airport. His job is to just direct people, stand all day. And he gets paid for that, big money. So, like that, everybody needs a service in serving Krishna. So it's a very nice thing. And Yogamaya covered that when Krishna he placed Krishna when Mother Yashoda was asleep. She gave birth to a baby girl, and usually when women give birth, they're very tired. So she didn't know a girl or a boy. So Vasudeva placed the baby girl there, and I took the baby girl and put Krishna there. And Mother Yashoda, when she woke up, oh, my Krishna, because this is all Leela. Krishna wanted to be there, also to protect Vasudeva and his devotee in the prison. And when he came back with the baby girl, Kamsa woke up, because Kamsa was under the spell that when Krishna appeared and Krishna asked them to take him to Mother Yashoda, another village, across the Yamuna. And the Yamuna was very fearful. I've never seen, I lived in Vrindavan way back in the 70s. The first time I went to Vrindavan, 1970s, Yamuna River was so beautiful, not like it is today. I lived in Vrindavan 5 years, from 1979 to 83. At that time, we used to kirtan from Gurukul to all the way to Madan Mahan. And Yamuna was very near there. There's a road there, Parikrama path. They don't have that path anymore. It's all a road, but they have it, but it's not like before. It's all concrete. There's no jungle there. So we used to finish our Harinam and go to take bath in the Yamuna. And you could see the water so clear the sand underneath of it. Crystal clear water, and we could drink the water that time. And there are puddles of water throughout and we would swim across on the other side. And the other side was really clean, the sandbar, and we used to play soccer there because no one's going there, so less people. And there are some areas of Yamuna, very deep, some are shallow. So beautiful. And I went back to Vrindavan after many, many years, maybe 20 years, a year before last year. I couldn't believe the changes. The road is not there, it's all brick road and rickshaws and people. And the Yamuna there is so dirty. It says here, foam, fena, Sanskrit word fenila. It's also, we also say fena. And like when you cook the rice, you take out not the way we cook the rice. In India, we don't cook the rice on the machine like nowadays they do, but originally, so there's all this water come up, and then you tip the water out. That's called fenabhat. But in China, called sticky rice. With the water, it's more healthy. You take the water out, because what's more healthy is actually the remnants left from the water. Some people that drink that, it has a lot of nutrition. So you take the water out, you only got the rice. So anyway, fena here. Fena means foam. Just like Gangang Vasad, Fenu, there is a verse in the Ishopanishad, or Nectar of Instruction. Rupa Goswami said, one should not judge a devotee by looking at them. Just like when you see the Ganga and there's foam and mud. You say, oh, it's filthy, and it's not clean, it's the foam and mud. But Rupa Goswami said that it's not the foam and mud. You have to see the purity of the Ganga underneath of it. So when you see the devotees, they may be like, sometimes they act weird. But you cannot judge a devotee by their looks. You have to see their quality. Just like the foam and mud you see on the top of the Ganges. Very intricate knowledge. We always say, we seem to find fault in other devotees, but actually we have to be careful, because Rupa Goswami is an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he said, just like the foam and mud on top of the Ganges, one should be very careful. The actual quality of the real Ganga is not what you see, that you see on top of the water, that foam and mud. Even the scientists, they say the water of the Ganga it's very clean. It has antiseptic water. You don't need to filter it. You can filter it, all the dust will go underneath. But that water is very pure. Not only, we don't understand what is pure. Westerners, they say hygiene, clean your hands, the soap, and wear a glove when you put on a mask. But they don't understand that real purity starts with the heart and consciousness. They don't have that understanding. So they only see the dirtiness externally. Underneath, whatever is going on, they don't consider that as that's another thing, because they don't have knowledge. Here, Indians, we use our hand to clean. After shower, we take shower after we go to the toilet. Westerners don't do that. And they say, oh, you Indian, you're dirty. Just because we didn't put underarm. That's true also. When you sit next to Indian, it smells like hell. Because they eat all the onion, garlic, it comes out. But devotees, you come to the temple, they smell like incense and flowers, because you just came out of the temple, especially a pujari. So we have to be very careful how we see the character of a devotee. So here, Nanda Maharaj had very affection to his son, which is Krishna. So when Vasudeva came back with the baby girl, Kamsa woke up and he said, wow, Krishna's born. The one's going to kill me. the eighth son wasn't Krishna. Krishna is already transferred to Nandagaon. That's Nanda Maharaj's house. So he immediately came in. Exactly what happened before that is that all the people in the prison house, they fell asleep by the potency of Yogamaya. So Vasudeva can take Krishna out from the prison house, midnight. When he came back with the baby girl with the exchange of Krishna, and everybody woke up. And Kamsa came in rushing. He took the baby girl and threw him in the ground. And baby girl didn't touch the ground. He flew up in the sky. And she said, "You rascal! Kamsa, don't you know that the person Krishna supposed to kill him is somewhere in Vrindavan, already born?" He was more complex and perplexed and bewildered. How come she is? And then she flew up. That's Durga Devi. So wasn't Krishna. So Kamsa think that he is smart. Krishna is more smart. Just like this month, we have another festival. Today is the 1st of April. And 1st of April, end of April, Nrsimhadev appearance. Lord Nrsimhadev. And Lord Nrsimhadev also, Kamsa, not Kamsa, Hiranyakashipu, he wanted to become immortal, you know the story. And he thought he could trick Krishna. He said, not in the land, not in the... So he can die. He will never die. But Krishna is more smart. He knew he still have to die. Not on the land, is on the lap. You know the story. So similarly, Krishna is very, very... He is the source of all the intelligence. We are His creator. So to be... So when... so this way, either way, Nanda Maharaj and Mother Jasoda, they very, very affectionate son, their own son is God, Krishna. And you can imagine, we have to be also sometime know that we can imagine our own son or daughter, they're also very special. And sometime, there's nothing wrong, according to this verse, there's nothing wrong to be attached to your own son and daughter and devotees. Because ultimately they're all Krishnas. So you can be attached to them, like it says here. Nanda Maharaj was his friend, but out of deep affection and attachment for his own son, he knowingly did this. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that one cannot be blamed for protecting one's own child at the sacrifice of another's. Furthermore, Vasudeva cannot be accused of callousness. So underlying principle, Hare Krishna, to understand that a devotee's attachment to Krishna, we have to be attached to our devotees. Oh, it's my heart. No, we can attach to be devotees, but in connection to Krishna. You don't become attached to someone that you feel that attachment is taking away from Krishna. That is material. You have to be able to see that the attachment to one another, attachment to your guru, attachment to devotees, your son and daughter, that know that they are Krishnas. In that context. Oh, I only serve Krishna. Everybody just know. They're all Krishnas. No. You have to understand the philosophy. Krishna became the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, the foster father and mother, Nanda Maharaj, Yasoda. But Krishna is God because he wanted that affection from his parents. He also likes to have own parents because he doesn't get that in Golok Vrindavan. He gets that, he knows that, but so it's a very unique thing to be to have that parental affection. Suppose your son and daughter come to you and say, no, go away. It's all Krishna's. How are they going to feel? So you have that affection because that's called Vatsalya Ras. There are 5 types of rasas in the spiritual world. Madhurya Ras, Vatsalya Ras, conjugal Ras. 5 types. Loving affairs between Radha and Krishna. It's another type of friendship. Sakya Ras. That's amazing. Because that's there in the spiritual world. That's why we have it here too. But here in this world, it's perverted. Sometimes your own friend, your enemy, here in this world, they can cheat you because they know you. But that rasa, as a friend of Krishna, you can trust Krishna. Because Krishna, he said, I am the friend of all living entities. Shuhridam sarvabhutanam. I'm the friend of all living entities. Why? Because he sits in our heart. What friend that sits in your own heart? Wherever you go, he's your eternal companion. He's your friend. He's always with you. So you have to understand why Krishna comes here, to increase our love for him. He becomes the parent, the son of his, as he says, he's the Supreme Lord, God, and he appears from the devotee because he wants that affection. He wants to have his devotee as his parents. And the parents, they don't know he is God. Actually, they prayed in the past life to have Krishna as their son. They did tapasya, three lifetimes. Krishna came in different forms, different lifetime, 3 life. And it is the last life, Krishna, 5,000 years ago, Krishna appeared from Devaki Vasudeva. Because they prayed to Krishna in the past life to have Krishna as their son. So this is very amazing, because Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham, Riddhi sannivishto, all the living entities. Aham sarvasya prabhavo, everything comes from me. What is the need for God to appear as from someone, ordinary living entities? Because they prayed God to have Krishna to their son. And also, when Krishna appeared, it says, mentioned here, Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya, she made the arrangement that Mother Yashoda and Maharaj, they were thinking of my son. If they knew that this is God, then the relationship would be different. Be awe and reverence. They don't want that. They want Krishna, and like, oh, my son. And Krishna also loves that. Imagine Krishna always, everyone praying to him and respecting him, worshipping him. But he loves his relationship with his cowherd boys and the gopis in Vrindavan than anywhere. Krishna is the supreme person of the Godhead. They worship him as the emperor, the king in Dwarka. But he loves his pastimes more in Vrindavan, because that is the most intimate pastimes. To have Krishna as your friend, have Krishna as an ordinary living being, to have them as his parents. That rasa, it's the most relishable. Krishna enjoys the most. This is like Krishna, he's in the forest, he's mucking around with his friend. They pack food for him tied up in a gamsha, a cloth. This doesn't happen in Dwarka. On reverence, a golden plate, different mood. But that friendship, that mood is so much better than awe and reverence. And Krishna likes it. So he has his childhood pastimes and his pastimes in Vrindavan. And even Lord Shiva, and he wanted to become a gopi, enter the lila of the gopis that he has with Krishna. He actually, Lord Shiva, he transformed his body as a gopi. and he was entering the Ras Leela. And the gopis, they could detect him. This is a different gopi. What are you doing here? And they stopped him at the door. Say, you're just, you're a man. Before he can even enter the Ras Leela. So they said, you can become a Gopishchara, guard Vrindavan, but he can't enter. So the principal gopis, 108. And he has so many gopis. So when you chant japa on the beads, that's all the gopis, actually, they say. There's 108 rounds. And this one is your Krishna. So when you chant the japa, starting from here, you go around and come back here and go back without going over the head. That's Krishna in the center. So all the gopis are dancing and Radha Krishna in the center. That's the idea. Just be very careful not to take the mala in the toilet. Keep it nicely. You can have, if you're like some Madhajis, they put the bead bag in a very nice, fancy bag, put it inside. And when you want to chant, take it out and touch the head with respect, because there's Krishna there. If you have that mentality, Krishna will reside with you. It all depends on your consciousness. Just like when you give you prasadam, you think, oh, so nice, thank you. Without even thinking. You sit down, say the prayers, sit nicely with cross leg, have it nicely, and look at the prasad, say the Mahamantra, the prayers, and take it nicely. You give dog and cat, they don't do all that. They start eating. So it's all in the consciousness. So how you respect, how you see things in a very Krishna conscious way, then Krishna is there for you. Samajh gaya? It's not mechanical thing. So Mother Jashoda, Nanda Maharaj, they didn't know Krishna is the son. Because they are under spell of Yogamaya. But nonetheless, Krishna wanted that affection from their parents. So similarly, we also need to give affection to our devotees, our children, our son and daughter. When they don't get it, then they go elsewhere. They take to drugs, stuff like that. We need the affection from one another. Krishna consciousness is not a dry philosophy. I give the lecture 1 hour, okay, hit the road, go, have your prasadam. No, we have to speak the philosophy in a way that is suitable. It's not like a dry philosophy. This kirtan, pravachan, prasadam. Prabhupada started this. So this philosophy of Krishna consciousness is based on love, affection. The ultimate love is bhakti, love for Krishna. When you don't have love for Krishna, then we love, Prabhupada said, cat and dog. They even carry the dog across the road. Yuck. Have you seen it? But that's perverted reflection of the real love that we have for Krishna and the devotees. So when you don't have that understanding who Krishna is, then we place our love in something else you're going to get out something, get some love out of that. Because we're all looking for that love. Even George Harrison, that song, give me love, give me love. He wrote that song, very famous. Huh? Yeah, always, what? Yeah, all you need is love. I thought it was give me love. It leads to that anyway. All you need is love. And our philosophy actually says that. Everything is based on love. Srila Prabhupada, when he first went to America, he wasn't just blasting people with philosophy. He has so much affection. He is an elderly man. He chose the time to go when an elderly Indian man, sadhu, goes to in America, they're going to sing, oh, that they fall for him. even India. So there's a trick when Prabhupada went. An Indian gentleman, an elderly man, a sadhu, what's he's got to say? Of course, he's not only an elderly gentleman, he's a pure devotee of Krishna. Krishna sent him there. But he was cooking such nice prasadam, and he's serving. There's all videos of that. They love Prabhupada so much. They saw Prabhupada as their father, as their friend, as their lover. Just like it is mentioned that when cowherd boys, they saw Krishna as their best friend. Gopis, they saw Krishna as their lover. In Dwarka, they saw Krishna as their husband. So, and when Krishna was taking prasadam in the forest, and some cowherd boys were looking at him, and they're thinking, wow, Krishna is looking at me. I am his favorite. But Krishna was looking at everyone at the same time, simultaneously. That's the potency. And everyone's thinking, wow, Krishna is looking at me. He knows how to please everyone at the same time. We don't have that power. Oh, in this material world, I'm favorable to someone, I'm not favorable to someone. There's always this conflict. But that's not there in the spiritual world. So if we can serve Krishna like the Mother Yashoda, Ananda Maharaj, with such affection and such love, that God Himself appeared from such devotees. Imagine the amount of love that they placed, that they did perform their austerity in the past life to have Krishna as the son. Krishna was obliged to take a birth from them. Krishna didn't say, I like you, I'm coming from you. No, they had to perform austerities. There was no favoritism only. Even though Krishna says, my devotees are my friend, my devotees are priyatama, are dear to me. But still, to become his devotee, you have to first of all become devotees of devotee. You have to perform austerity. You have to work hard. You have to tapasya. So many things are required. Not that Krishna appeared from them because he liked them. Even Radharani, Krishna's favorite. Even Krishna took off once from Radharani because she was thinking, oh, I'm so great. Krishna is always with me. Krishna left. She turned around, there's Krishna left. There's a story there. Krishna wanted to teach her. You have to respect other gopis. That's like the other day I was saying in the class. Lord Ramachandra. It's mentioned here actually in this verse. Lord Ramachandra, translation's there. And they were throwing rocks in the ocean to make a bridge out of it. And Hanuman is very strong. He was coming up with big boulders and stones and throwing them in the ocean to make a bridge. And there was this little animal. We in Bengali we say kadbiral. You know, kadbiral, squirrel. You know, squirrels carrying a little bit of sand and also throwing with Hanuman. Hanuman said, get out of my way. You're going to take millions of years to make a bridge. The amount of sand you're putting. So Lord Ramachandra chastised Hanuman. He said, no, he is doing his service according to his capacity, just as much as you. The love he has for me is equal to the love you have for me, he told Hanuman. Everyone has a capacity. So here, Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, they love Krishna so much. There's no comparison. There it's mentioned here, their actions were impelled by the forces of Yogamaya. It's sometimes good to be under the spell of Maya, not the Mahamaya, Yogamaya. But us, we are under the spell of Mahamaya, the Maya of material world. So that's also, if you can actually a little bit understand a little deeply, that Maya that we are under, we become attached to each other because we like each other materially. Then because we are devotees, we see things through philosophy. Then it's, kya karta hai? Like what's happening? So that Maya sometimes is become helpful. That's called experience. Through experience you know, wow, like what a mistake. I wish I didn't do it. So most of us can be on that level. There's no jumping, oh I love Krishna so much. There's nobody walk through the door and instantly they're going to go directly to Krishna, and the day one you're going to chant 16 rounds and give me service all the way to... We are going to always go through up and down. And I joined Hare Krishna movement. Next day I was chanting 60 rounds. Next day I haven't given up. 1973 and now I'm still doing 16 rounds a day. That time I was doing because they said if you do, you will get a Mahaprasad, Prasadam. Those days in Mayapur it's not easy to get Mahaprasadam. They would only give to, and they were encouraging us. So there was some motivation. But still later I understood, the more you chant Hare Krishna, then you lose that material taste. You realize that's so nice to chant. You don't want the sense enjoyment. Dhruva Maharaj, he had a desire to have a planet. We want a house and a car, and he wanted a planet. What the desire is so big, no one can fulfill. You ask your parents, give me a car, give me a house, give me enough money. But he asked for planet. Who's going to give it? But when he saw, after his austerity, when he met Vishnu, Lord Narayan came down on the Garuda. After seeing Lord Narayan, he said, after I seen you, I consider material enjoyment is like broken pieces of glass. He doesn't want the planet. It's just like when you eat big feast. They can give you your favorite food, but you don't have the appetite. So, no thanks. You love pizza so much, but you ate this much. About half an hour later, you don't want to even think about pizza till another week. Right? We have that experience? So, Dhruva Maharaj, when he saw Vishnu, Lord Narayan, kuch nahi chahiye. I'm satisfied because I've seen you. So like that. Right now we're talking about it. We have to develop that faith, that love, that why they're mentioned in the books. What is that? What is it that they attract us so much? What is it? We don't understand because we're not on that platform. Srila Prabhupada, he didn't sleep. He was up all night translating. Every day, wherever he went around the world, he would be giving class, go for morning walk, Guru Puja. Never missed. Because he started this program. What is it that he can maintain that standard? Because he has that love for Krishna. We don't have that pure love. Sometimes people say, you need to jump and get that love, that prema bhakti. If we don't have the sadhana bhakti, beginning level of Krishna consciousness, how are we going to jump there and get the Krishna prem? We say in the morning, Krishna prem, and everybody says it. It's not that easy. You have to have nama ruchi. You have to have the same affection that Mother Yashoda had for Krishna. Krishna didn't disappear from them, like I said. Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, they did austerities in the past life to have Krishna as their son. So long, thousands of years. thousands of years. And Dhruva Maharaj also. Dhruva Maharaj, he ate leaves, dried leaves for a month. Is it month, right? And drank water for a month. We drink water half a day, we're thinking, oh God, what time is the prasadam? And he's coming evening, oh no, I'm leaving the Hare Krishna. It's too much fasting. I don't want to be a devotee. And there was a story of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, he had 40 disciples. He's the main disciples of his, Kamechalavi. So then, one of his disciples had, whatever he ate, he'd fall sick. He couldn't, he had to vomit it, or he wasn't getting any nutrition from the food he was eating. He was eating a lot, so he was getting skinny. So Jesus said, you have a worm in the stomach. So you're eating all the food, and the worm is eating up all that. Imagine that. We eat all the food, and then this damn germ is eating up your food. You can't do nothing about it. It's inside you. So Jesus said the way to fix that problem, that you fast for 40 days. That's many days. 40 days. Not just 1 or 2 days, 40 days. So many of his disciples, he was saying, oh, what kind of merciful person. So half of the people took off. They said, oh, this is not merciful, Jesus. And then time was getting closer, and it was maybe 10 days. Then everybody was saying, let the poor guy eat. It's only 10 days, already fasted for so many days. Let the poor guy eat. He said, no, you have to fast 40 days. And some of the disciples left, only few left. Few stayed. They thought Jesus is too cruel and not friendly and making fast. And it was the day to break the fast. So they gave him a cup of milk with sugar in it, a lot of sugar in it. So he was just about to drink. He said, stop! He was holding the milk over his face. And he was holding. And everyone said, let the poor guy drink. He fasted 40 days. He's about to drink the milk, and he has to hold it up. So Jesus had a plan. Everything goes according to plan. So when he was holding up, the worm inside was coming out because he wasn't getting the food. So after 40 days, the bugs was coming out to drink the milk, and they killed the bug with a stone. You heard the story before? This is Bible story. So I used to hear the story from Maharaj. He said that we should be faithful. Don't lose your faith. Krishna consciousness. That's the moral of the story. Have faith. Prabhupada didn't tell us to fast for 40 days. 1 day, half a day. Even people are talking, oh, Ram Navami, you should fast till evening. But they made it till, I was there in Vrindavan when on Ram Navami, the day I got initiated. There was no half-day fast. We had big feast, midday. The people talking, wow, it's Ram Navami, you have to fast till evening. No, I was there. The people hearing this lecture, okay. So Lord, Srila Prabhupada is very merciful. Every day here we have a feast. So my point here I'm talking about is that we should understand that we need to see things clearly through the Shastra. We're talking about Yamuna here. These rivers, this is another topic, that they all came to render service to Krishna. All the rivers, they came to assist Krishna's pastimes. They run through the holy places. You see all the rivers in India, they're all running through the holy places. Not like there's no holy river here. And all those famous trees, Bakul Gach, Siddha Bakul, different trees, they're in the holy dham. We have here the gum trees. They don't have in Vrindavan. Now they have in close to Vrindavan because the British bought them, planted those trees, eucalyptus trees. But they have Bakul Gach. They have special trees. So similarly, trees, river, animals that live in the holy place, they're very special. And our government should clean those places and make sure that these places are kept clean out of respect. Now I go to Mayapur, I never have this desire to build a house, Vrindavan or Mayapur. Never. I've been here in Australia since 1980s. I could make a palace in Vrindavan and Mayapur for myself. I didn't. I consider our ISKCON temple is my home. My service is my home. I have enough money to build a house in Mayapur, Vrindavan. I'm not in Vrindavan and Mayapur to have a competition with Radha Madhava, to have also a house for myself and have a second tier VP. My idea of Krishna consciousness is, you see how Srila Prabhupada worked so hard. He didn't go to America to bring money and build a home for himself. He made temple for Krishna, not for himself. And Prabhupada had so much opulent, but he himself renounced because he has genuine love for Krishna. He has taste for Krishna. He has ruchi, taste for Krishna. He's not attracted to material wealth. That's why Krishna himself, he lives in Dwarka, but his favorite Leela and his favorite pastimes is with the gopis in Vrindavan and the cowherd boys in Vrindavan. Simple living. Very simple. Eats food from a leaf in the forest. So we can be surrounded by material things, but we have to have in the heart, deep down, we know the real pleasure is to give pleasure to Krishna. Not have all the material things. This is why I go to Vrindavan and Mayapur. It feels so good to sit down with the devotees, hear Krishna Katha from the sadhus, the sannyasis, the devotees, attend the program. That's why we go to Holy Dham. To immerse ourselves in Krishna consciousness. To boost our Krishna consciousness. Not we go there, half the time we go off somewhere, do our own thing. So similarly, we're living here, all our temples are actually holy places of pilgrimage. So I don't put great importance, like go to Vrindavan and Mayapur. I see Melbourne temple, our Radha Vallabha here, is as good as Vrindavan. So, like I said before, it's in our attitude. If you're Krishna conscious, you can be Krishna conscious anywhere. Everywhere, wherever you go. Don't think when Prabhupada went to America, he was in Maya because he loved Vrindavan. He was in New York. What is the need for Prabhupada to go to New York? Because his Guru Maharaj told him. He bought Vrindavan there. Right? So like that, there's different types of Maya. Mahamaya, Yoga Maya, potencies of Krishna's energies. So if we place ourselves in the Yoga Maya, Krishna's eternal potency, you're with Krishna. You're not affected by Maya. As soon as you leave that Krishna's protection, out of Krishna, then we become attracted to material things. Wherever you go, we're in the temple here, but we are not always in the temple, we are outside of the temple. We go to book distribution, then we go to our service, we have to go to work. We have to bring that Krishna consciousness, the boost of Krishna consciousness that we had with us wherever you go. Prabhupada gives the example of a waning moon. You know, the full moon, and gradually it becomes dark. So, similarly, we have to keep in the light of Krishna consciousness, in the bright light of Krishna, like the moon, full moon. Gradually start to boost in Krishna consciousness. Stay in the fire of Krishna consciousness, wherever you go. So you're grihastha, someone has a job, working, but you're not affected by it. You're in the Yoga Maya. Just like Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, Devaki, Vasudeva, they're always Krishna conscious. And it says here the Yamuna, in this particular verse here, Fenila, like I said before, we also say Fena. Fena means foam and mud on the Ganga. So when you see a devotee, they say, we cannot judge. Gaur Krishna Das Babaji, it's mentioned he was illiterate. He didn't read or write. We are all scholars here. One time I was traveling from one place to the other, and there was a flood in Mayapur. So we had to get off way before Farakka Bridge. There's a bridge called Farakka Bridge. So there was all Mayapur flooded. So everybody got off, and people were pulling my car, saying, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. This was 1978. And they were making fun of me. And I was the only one. I got off somewhere. I had to get off. So we had to get the refund. So everybody's signing their name. And everybody around me, they're signing in Bengali. I signed in English. Like, wow. And everybody's attitude changed towards me. They were pulling my sikha and harassing me. After that, oh, Hare Krishna, how are you? Just because I signed in English. Nice. So sometimes people respect because of your looks, of how you talk, and your behavior, your education level. That's the materialistic people. But we should know that you cannot judge a devotee by the looks. It's your Krishna consciousness. Here's your devotion, how you chant, how you do your service, so many things. So here, there's a very nice verse, this verse. We have to understand the insight of the verse. Then we will know more about everything. Okay? Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yeah?
Thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, you were talking about Prema Bhakti. So my question is, do you know any secrets for advancing from our stage to ultimately Prema Bhakti?
You see, like I have been talking now, we cannot judge. Someone may already be in Prema Bhakti. But our mood is not that oh yeah, I have got it. I'm in Prema Bhakti. So please come to me. Maybe one of you, maybe you have already, but we don't go around showing. We like to perform Krishna consciousness in the beginning level and be humble in our approach to Krishna and chant sincerely so that we can mix with others. Prabhupada, he was a pure devotee, he's with Krishna, but he came down here and mixed with everyone, sit with everyone, chant, to show us that. He didn't say, oh, everyone, I have got Krishna Prem. He never, you can read all his books, he never said that. Come to me, I've got it. He said, you find out for yourself. He never criticized anyone. So like that, I may have, but I don't go and advertising it. I will tell like I am just trying. I haven't got it. This is the mood of the Goswamis. The Goswamis, they were praying. They said, where is Krishna? Hare Radhe, Hare Braja Devika Jalalite. Are you here, the bank of the Ganga, Yamuna? Are you under the tree? That's their mood. So, our standard of preaching is when we tell others that you have to practice Krishna consciousness, follow the 4 principles, sadhana bhakti. Then Krishna prem, when it comes gradually. It's not like it will flow. When we get it finally, we don't tell like I have got it. The Krishna prem comes right in the beginning. Someone who comes to Krishna consciousness right in the beginning, they may be right on the platform of prema bhakti straight away. Because Krishna blesses them with that topmost. Because we need that in the beginning to boost. That's why people join it. Wow, I love it. I love so much. They love everything. But then gradually, so, they start to waning moon. So that's why it's not, we tell everyone, sadhana bhakti is for the neophytes. We got it all. We have the prema bhakti. Come to us. You are just practicing sadhana bhakti. No, that's how it works. It might take a lifetime to practice sadhana bhakti before we can get prema bhakti. But even that last minute before we die, we get that Krishna prem, that's okay. But for a simple, humble devotee, we're happy even practicing sadhana bhakti. Because that's going to please Krishna. Because that's going to please Prabhupada. He wanted us to be in that mood. That's how it works. Just like if you want to be a PhD, you have to first of all know ABC, go through the school, and then gradually university. Not that immediately, no. There's a system for everything. Someone may be not very intelligent. He'll never get a PhD. But doesn't mean he's a dumb guy. He can still learn, according to his capacity, he learned what he's good at it. Still good. In our body, we have legs. We have belly, arms, head. So legs are sudra, they're working. We need the legs. Otherwise, no one will clear the garbage. So just as important, someone who is a laborer. So like that, someone who is a head, the brahmana, like I've studied, I know everything, but he can't do it without the legs. It's all connected. So the social order of the body is Krishna created. It's absolutely perfect. We have to reach that. But to get to the level of prema bhakti, you have to go through the level of sadhana bhakti. But once, we don't know who has it or not, because our mood is not to advertise. Okay? Anybody else? Good question. You going to school now? Thank you for inspiring us. You come to class and then you go to work. School. That's so nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for a wonderful class, Prabhuji. I have a question regarding Dham. At the start of the class, you mentioned about Gupta Vrindavan. Sri Mayapur Dham is known as Gupta Vrindavan. So I was just wondering, because in this age, Gaurang Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, they are freely distributing the love of Godhead. But on the contrary, his Dham is he kept it as hidden. So why? I'm just wondering why that is a bit of a contradiction. It should be more popular rather than hidden.
You see, in Krishna consciousness, there's different levels. Everything cannot be just one, even though spiritually, but there is one and different. So, Prabhupada, he has Los Angeles, Detroit, and then Vancouver, all the temples in the West, in the UK, all the temples he opened, and in India. But there is a difference, it's still. Then you can't say Vrindavan and Mayapur like Los Angeles, even though we have the same standard. But because the environment is different, the temple's only that, within that temple, outside is different. Where you go to Vrindavan, Mayapur, everybody is similar. So there is a difference. So we don't say Gupta Vrindavan, Los Angeles, ISKCON, even though. So, but it all depends in your consciousness. Suppose you came from Vrindavan and you go to Los Angeles, and you see in a very spiritual consciousness, you see Krishna everywhere. Very hard to. We're not on that level. But that's never, that is also a type of a standard. If you can remain in that fix, in that understanding, that Los Angeles is also like Gupta Vrindavan. But that depends on your spiritual status. But in an absolute platform, it is all spiritual. Bhagavatam, he sees everyone is serving Krishna. Elephant, dog, cat, everyone, someone who is not, he sees. But we can't see that like that. So Madhyamadikari, he sees, okay, this guy is non-devotee, he sees this is devotee, so he has to preach accordingly. But there are Uttamadikaris who sees everybody, but that is very high level. So we have to be, our level of Krishna consciousness is that middle level. Preach according to what level people are on. Suppose you are not Uttamadikari, and you're Uttamadikari. And then some people, they start to go around, yeah, I'm a gopi, wear sari and stuff. That's not acceptable. We have to accept Krishna consciousness according to what Prabhupada gave us, on that level. Otherwise, we're imitating. That is called sahajas. They show of a devotee. I am a gopi. In my last life, I was a gopi. All this nonsense. This is, then it's become wishy-washy and very cheap. So therefore, sadhana bhakti is emphasized. Very strictness. Goswami is very strict. Yet they are pure devotees. They are intimate associate of Krishna, but they are very strict. Because they want to emphasize that is not cheap. We have to follow sadhana bhakti strictly. Then we talk about Krishna Prem, even though it's there, it's the ultimate, but we need to not jump to that artificially. So that's why Prabhupada made sadhana bhakti as very important. And none of us can come every day, attend programs, some, even though we are so close. And then we want to talk about Krishna Prem. You know what I mean? Even at home, it's not the same as the temple. It's different, it's very casual. Oh yeah, we offer whenever we eat. So we have the standard in our temple, just so we can maintain that standard very strictly. So when we're being here, that standard is so strict that we are affected by it. We want to be in that mood. It's not the home, even though it's the same, it's not the same. Even this is our home. At the same time, there's home too, but the standards are different. See, so these things you have to consider and see it more carefully, observe this understanding. So the Gupta Vrindavan is Mayapur and Vrindavan and other places. Prabhupada said, our temple is like the windows to the spiritual world. It is. But Prabhupada could see it, but we don't see it. And Prabhupada used to give lecture, he could see the demigods sitting in the audience. He was never discouraged if there's less people. But he could see them, we couldn't. Because he was on that level of Krishna Prem that we talk about. But he emphasized the sadhana bhakti, even though he was on that level of Krishna Prem, just for our sake. And he attended the program wherever he went, like I said. He didn't go around telling, okay, let's forget about sadhana, I'm giving you Krishna Prem. That's the Narayan Maharaj, they're doing that. And they explain it nicely, it's very touching. But we have to be careful that we have to be, okay, there's fault and problems, that is material world. But we need to also see that somehow we have to work together in a humble mood. But never accept it as going around telling everyone that you are on the lower level. We got it. Prabhupada would have said that. Why he emphasized sadhana bhakti so much? And yet he talks about Krishna Prem and different symptoms of a pure devotee in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But he said you have to read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam also, step by step. He could have said, just study 10th canto. He never said that. He said you have to go through 4th canto. Even the 10th canto, the description of the Krishna's pastimes. Because once you come to that level, if you don't have the initial training of sadhana bhakti, we're going to take things very cheaply and there will be misunderstanding. Therefore you have to go from beginning. Because when you come to that level, then you'll know what is Krishna's position. So when you see Krishna with Rasa Leela or the gopis, then we become jealous. They say, well, I want to be also. That's why you have to read from beginning. Then when you get to that level, you'll know that actually, what is Krishna's position. You have to purify the heart. Chetadarpana marjanam. If there's a tinge of material desire in our heart to enjoy, then that becomes a blockage. We will not achieve chanting Hare Krishna. Even though we're chanting, we will not understand. The ruchi will not come. I'm just telling myself too, because I'm all these years devotees, but the desire to enjoy this world, it's always there in us. Because in the lifetime, we are in the material world, not just this life. That comes back like a dream, very much so. We're not living in Vrindavan, Mayapur. As soon as you leave this temple, there's so much Maya around. We go to Vrindavan, Mayapur, everywhere there's temple. It's like you're in the temple. So there is a difference. So when you say Gupta Vrindavan, it is Gupta. Not everywhere is Gupta. There's only certain places is replica of actual Vrindavan. That's Vrindavan, Mayapur, Ekachakra. You go to Ekachakra, it's not like you walk out, there's a pub, and there is a, other things, nightclub. So it is Gupta Vrindavan, in Vrindavan, Mayapur. They may have some music, but it's all connected to Radharani or Krishna or something, they're blasting out, but not like material songs. But like I said, we also need to develop that consciousness. When you go to, America or Australia, you come to our temple, you have to have that vision, oh, this is Gupta Vrindavan. But that is only in our consciousness. But Vrindavan, Mayapur is real. But now it's changing. But when you go there, you have to also see, oh, this is not like before anymore. Like, what happened? It's not in the Krishna book. Why is Vrindavan like this? So we have to go deeper to understand what is Vrindavan. It is not an external thing that you can make a judgment by seeing it. Like I go to Vrindavan, I don't feel inspired. Oh, I am in Vrindavan. All that hustle, bustle, rickshaw, dust puts me off. I want to come back to Melbourne. But we have to raise our consciousness, actually, to see that in a deeper way. Hare Krishna. Okay? Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.